since it had been like 2 hours since Mike Zimmer added a former head coach to the staff, because why not? Dom Capers, come on down. You're the next contestant on senior defensive regional analyst guy on staff for the Minnesota Vikings. Cool. So, we'll get the jokes out of the way. So Dom Capers, for many years, when he was defense coordinator of the Packers for like a decade plus, something ridiculous like that, or almost a decade, it seemed like it, where he was a full-on punchline, even amongst Packers fans. Like, Dom Capers was the game that passed him by, blah, 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 all that other stuff. And, yeah, he was old. He was out of his element, Donnie, and he probably should have been gone a number of years before he finally was fired in Green Bay after the 2017 season, right? So him coming on staff, yeah, he does bring a lot of experience. I think it can only benefit the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, this is a man who's coached in the NFL since 1986, both as an assistant, D coordinator, head coach for 2 stints as well. So I think he does bring a lot to the table. Also, he and Gary Kubiak, with both of them in Minnesota, there will be 0 Just for Men die for the rest of us. So stock up now before Dom actually moves in here. So we got that going. But Dom Capers, if you recognize the name, he was head coach for the expansion Carolina Panthers for 4 seasons, taking them to the NFC title game in 1996, where they lost to the Packers. So strike 1 against them. And then he was head coach of the expansion Texans from 2002 to 2005 before handing power over to Gary Kubiak. So, yeah, it all ties together. Time is a flat circle. Recently, like we mentioned, he had been Packers defensive coordinator from 2009 to 2017, which was a mixed bag. I mean, hey, I can be really good if I have peak Clay Matthews, yes, he was okay, as well as Julius Peppers, who still has some treading on the tire. I can do that. Right? And then he was recently, he spent 2018 out of football, and then 2019 he was senior defensive assistant, ostensibly a similar role to what he's going to be in Minnesota with Jacksonville last season. So, again, jokes aside, it does make sense to have a senior defensive voice on that side of the ball, because even though Patterson and Zimmer Jr. are co-defensive coordinators, even though Mike's going to be calling plays on game day, like no one for one replaced George Edwards in terms of overseeing day-to-day defensive drudgery on that side of the ball. So that's a bonus, plus Dom does know the division for whatever that is worth. And also the caveat that's been flying under the radar, Dom Capers has always been a 3-4 jabroni. That's right. 3 down defensive linemen, 4 linebackers. Let's go. So imagine a couple of sexy-ass 3-4 looks where you got Anthony Barr and Daniil Hunter just flying off the edge. Woo! I like it. So even though this is fodder for jokes and LOLs, I think overall it is a net positive for the Vikings. And maybe Mike Zimmer's just like outsourcing himself out of a job, because once Gary Kubiak takes over, it'll be the Gary and Dom show. Yeah, the former Texans cast-offs. Bring on Bill O'Brien next as the next GM, because why not? Anyways, your thoughts, let us know in the old comments section below. Vikings bringing on Dom Capers. Also, subscribe for daily Vikings takes. If you want to support the work, pull us up on the Venmo. Plus, give us a follow on social media as well. But until next time, Skol. Production value.